Well, good evening, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the call tonight. And what we're going to be doing is tonight we're going to be just taking a page from your Genius Marketing Pro system. We're going to be uploading it. I do want to share with you a few things um, about GetResponse. And I was on with their tech team today, and I'm going to be actually adding this to the entire platform. But I do want to share it with you on this call tonight. But the purpose of this call is to do something that last night I didn't really have a chance to do. I had not really planned to do a call tonight, so this call isn't going to be long. I do want to make sure that, you know, for those of you who want to upload a file, that you're able to do it. Good evening, everybody. Now, so let's just kind of quickly go through this. I'm going to actually share my screen. I'm going to go out to Genius Marketing Pro, and I'm going to turn the screen share on in a minute. And let me pull up Genius Marketing Pro, and then I'll turn on the screen share. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. Uh, um, here in Harrisburg, we are actually having unseasonably warm weather. And so what do we like? And so for me, I mean, that's a real benefit. I'm really a fall person, right? I really like the fall for whatever reason, right? So I can enjoy the fall in any climate. I can enjoy the fall any part of the country. And so I just like the fall. So this is a really good time of year for me. Some people have, you know, have what do they call them, spring personalities or whatever the case is, but I'm a fall person. Okay, now we are looking at Genius Marketing Pro, and what we want to do here is we want to go to a page that we've created, right? And I'm going to choose a bonus page that I've created, and I want to take a look at that page first. And I want to go to my pages. And the page that I'm gonna look at here is, let's see, I think I did a page for social bots, right? I did a bonus page for social bots. So let's take a look at the social bots page here. I'm gonna visit that page. And I think I actually did this. I did this on a call where I showed you what this page was. Right, so basically, I put some bonuses together. I did a screen cut of this, and then I put this buy button there, and then that was my bonus for social bots. Right, so now the question then becomes, can I put this page on my own hosting? And so the answer to that is yes. Now I'm going to ask you, those of you who are on the call, a question. And if you're watching by archive, just be patient with me for just a second. I do want to ask the folks who are on this call, how many of you, if you had to FTP to your hosting, you'd be comfortable doing that? So in other words, you know how to put a page, an HTML page, a PHP page on your own hosting. So if you're comfortable with that, I'd like you to put the number 1 in the question box. And again, if you're watching by archive, as I'm sure most of you are, if you just be patient with me, or if you want to fast forward a few minutes, that would be fine. I do want to get a sense for how many people are able to do this while I'm here on the call. And so what you're going to need is, and if you're new to this, right? If you're new to this, you are going to want to learn how to do this. Right, anyway. And so what you're going to need is the FileZilla client. Right, FileZilla is free. If you go to Google and you type in FileZilla, what you're going to want to get is the free solution. And I'm going to tell you that when you download this program, the one that you're going to want to download and use is going to be the client. Right, you don't need FileZilla server. You're going to get FileZilla client. Okay, now, so let's take a look at FileZilla. I'm going to open my own up here. And so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on how to use FileZilla. I'm just going to kind of use it in context with what we're going to be doing. It's going to take a minute too. So most of the people on the call, you already know how to do FileZilla, which is fantastic. I'm going to slide FileZilla over here. And so what FileZilla does is it allows you to, on this side, this is going to be your hosting on the right side where you can see my mouse. On the left side, you can actually just double click the files you're going to be uploading, and then they will go over to your server in the directory that you want. So what we need to do with Genius Marketing Pro is we need to get the files onto our hard drive first. And so we're going to need to do that is we're going to go to Genius Marketing, and I'm going to Social Bots page, and I'm going to click this yellow arrow, right? And so I'm going to download the entire zip file. And so I did this last night. I think I might have been in a rush, or maybe I was in a, maybe my head wasn't there all the way. So I'm going to download this. I'm actually going to delete the one I got yesterday, and I'm going to download this. And I'm going to click save. Yes, I want to replace it. Once you download it, you're going to have this. You're going to have this page, and you are going to then go to the folder where it is, and of course, you're going to unzip the folder. So all I'm going to do here, where I go to the folder, is I'm going to extract the entire folder. And I can do that in Windows. There's probably a way to do that in Mac. I don't know exactly what that is. I'm going to say yes. And it's just going to take a minute to, unzip. Okay, so now what I have here is I have all the files here to be unzipped. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to where that folder is. I'm going to take this entire directory, and I'm going to put that on my FileZilla in the directory where I want it. Now I'm going to be deleting this in a minute here. So I'm going to go to I'm just going to kind of go to a site that I don't use a lot of. Or maybe I'll go to a site where I do use a lot of. Okay, I'll bring this back. I'll bring FileZilla back in a minute. And if it'll be just a second, I'm going to create a directory here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop that entire folder to FileZilla. So I'm going to take this JP, and I'm going to put that JP inside of the public HTML directory. I'm just going to drag and drop it over into FileZilla. And when I'm done, I'll show you what it should look like inside of FileZilla. Okay, so when I get done, this should actually be inside of my FileZilla, right? All the files should be there. Okay, yeah, great question, Gary. There are two image folders inside of the zip. Why do they include so many images? They actually include the images that were there on the page. So I could, Gary, I could just delete some of those images. Right? I could go into the editor. I could delete those. right? Because I don't really need them. That was just part of the editor, right? And then there's the images that I uploaded. So the images that I uploaded, I could do if I wanted to. Let's say I'm going to go inside. Let's go inside of that folder for a second. Now let's take a look. I'm going to take a look at it on my hard drive. If I go inside of this image folder, what I could do here is I could say I could sort these by date. So in other words, let's see. I'm going to list the details, and then I'm going to sort them by date. And you can see here pretty much I've got the ones that I uploaded on the 2nd. And so a lot of these I could probably delete, right? So I could go back, take a look at them by the medium icons. And the ones that I don't need, I can delete. Right? And the reason that these are here is because they were inside of the template when we started. The download process does not eliminate the ones that were in the template. So if you feel like, well, the folder's too bloated, you can delete the ones that you don't want or that you don't need. Right? Does that make sense, Gary? So you have the ability to do that certainly before you re-upload this file to your server. Okay, so I'm going to close it out now. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of put this into my browser. And I hope I do this right. Last night I must have been drunk or something. I didn't do it right. So I'm going to change that. Don't do that. Okay, and so there you see my social bots page. It's now on gainmindshare.com/JP. Right? If I go back to Genius Marketing Pro, it's really the same site. So if I go look at that page on Genius Marketing Pro, there's the site there. There's the site on Gain Mindshare. Right? So that's pretty much the process. So the only thing that might be a sticking point for you is that you might have to learn how to use FileZilla, but other than that, it's pretty much that simple. Now, one of the things I want to go over with you here tonight, and I'm going to do a tutorial that I will add separately that's not in a webinar to the tutorial board. But I do want to cover this and just kind of talk to you about this as an update. If you were going to go and you were going to, let's say you were going to take a page and you were going to create an opt-in page, right? And let's say that we're going to go and we're going to create a page here. And we're going to go and we're going to create an opt-in page. And I'm going to create this one. Okay, so now what I would do, of course, is I would click this little man there, right? I would click this guy here, and I would click him. And what I would be doing here is I would be looking for the autoresponder GetResponse, right? So GetResponse is going to be looking for the form ID. And so one of the things that you want to be aware of with GetResponse is that in August of 2015, they changed their entire system. And so this is your typical GetResponse. This is your typical GetResponse. What do you call it? A JavaScript or script or HTML, and they're going to give you a form ID, As of right now, that form ID is going to be 7 numbers. Right prior to that, the GetResponse form ID was 5 or 6. Now, because of their new system, you are going to need to have the 7-digit code in order to use GetResponse. And so if you don't have that code, what you're going to need to do is to go back inside of GetResponse and just recreate a form ID for the particular list that you're working with. Is that now? Are you looking at? Are you talking about here on the screen? Let's see. Maybe I've got too much open. I'll try to close something here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at it on Google Hangouts, and it looks clear on this end. So it might be that the actual recording will be fine. I'm looking. The recording should be perfect. I'm not sure why it's transmitting, and maybe it's either I've got something open. I'm using too much memory, which I don't think I am, but I might be. So here's what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of finish this, and I'm going to hope that I'm pretty sure the recording will be fine, Jerry. Okay, so let's see, where was I? Where was I? Okay, so GetResponse, that's right. In order to go, you're going to go back inside of GetResponse. I'm going to go inside of my GetResponse right now, and GetResponse, when you open it up, and I'm going to go inside of my own right now. I'm going to log into GetResponse. I'm doing that off screen right now. That's why you can't see it. And it's going to be just in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to go inside of GetResponse. And where you're going to go here inside of GetResponse is you're going to just go to create a new form. And that's all you're going to do. Now, what you're going to notice inside of GetResponse is that you're going to have, you see they've got legacy forms and they've got new forms. The legacy forms are the old forms. And typically, those are going to have your 6-digit numbers. Their API now works with the 7-digit code. And so you're going to need to go and make sure you create a form inside with the 7-digit code, right? So when you create a form, your form is going to have 7 digits. And that's the form that you're going to want to use for any list. So if you want to connect your GetResponse list to your opt-in page, you're going to want to make sure that you do it with a new form and that new form has a 7-digit code. So when I go to create a form, I'm going to be looking, and I'm not gonna spend a lot of time working on the form here. I'm just going to kind of save it. And this thing is monstrously slow. Okay, so I'm just going to click save and publish. And so what's going to happen is GetResponse is going to give me this JavaScript code. And then I'm going to just kind of open up a notepad file so you can see it. And what you're going to notice is GetResponse is going to give you a 7-digit code. And that's what you're going to, well, Ilja, I'm showing GetResponse today because some people want to connect their GetResponse to GMP, and they have been having problems with the code. And the issue has been that GetResponse changed their they changed the nature of their API. And so in order to connect an existing GetResponse list to GMP, you're going to need to make sure your code is 7 digits. And that's really the only reason why I'm showing GetResponse today, right? In case you came in late. So for those of you who are using GetResponse, you're trying to connect your GetResponse to the GMP pages, you're going to have to make sure that your code has 7 digits. Okay, does that make sense, everybody? Okay, I have had that question, but I want to make sure everyone knew that in case you've been trying to use GetResponse. But no, you should be, if you don't have an existing list on GetResponse, you don't need to use GetResponse, right? This is only for people who have an existing list on GetResponse and they've been trying to connect it to the GMP pages. That's the only reason why I'm doing this. Okay, good question. Okay, so any other questions while I'm here? Okay, that's really all I really want to do tonight, was to show you how to upload pages. I want to talk to you a little bit about GetResponse. And if you have any other questions, I'll try to take them now. As you know, I don't like to keep you over 30 to 45 minutes. Any other questions? You're welcome, Gary. Okay, so Phil's asking, okay, so putting a GMP survey on your own web page. At this point, you're gonna need to link to that survey. And the embed code is not yet there. So for the surveys, you'll need to link to them. And I need to talk to the tech team. I think that is that's a definite upgrade in addition to in addition to the conditional responses. And I'm actually going to be on with the tech team. I'm going to be on with the tech team right after this call. So yeah, actually, Ilja, I have had better deliverability with GMP than actually GetResponse or Aweber. Right. So one of the things that you're going to want to do, and I think Dwayne went over this, and I'll just tell you briefly, is you want to go to mailtester.com before you send a message. And what's going to happen is you should be, before you send out a message, you should be testing it anyway. And so what you want to do is when you test your message, you want to go to mailtester.com. I'm going to put that in here, mailtester.com, and you want to test your message here. And it'll tell you if your score is good enough to be sent out and if it's going to go to spam in the first place. And so, and the other thing that you sort of want to do, and I'm going to suggest that you do this, I'm going to suggest that you send to, I'm going to suggest that you send to Gmail, that you send to live.com, you send to Hotmail, you send to your own personal domain. Okay, so all of those you should have in a test group so that you will know where you're inboxing and where you're not inboxing. You should probably use Yahoo also, right? So all of the common email addresses, all the common email boxes, you're going to want to put that in one group, and send a test message to mail tester and that group so that you'll know what's happening. Now, actually, GMP is the only webinar or autoresponder that I know of that is getting through the Hotmail and live.com filters as of right now. Right, I can't even get through it with Aweber. And so apparently, I've got to have some kind of long conversation with a bunch of people, and I haven't had time to do that. But as of right now, GMP is actually getting through live.com and hotmail.com. Right? Okay, so Jerry's asking, what if you have your own custom autoresponder? If you have, are you talking about something like, what is it, Mandrill or something like that? Is that what you're talking about? So, and while you answer that, Jerry, okay, is there an image size limit with imported image gallery images? Yes, there is. I want to say, I don't know the exact answer, Gary. I will get it for the next time I get on the call. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, but I will get the exact answer. Okay, so Mandrill, and the other, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Jerry. The custom when someone uses, I guess it's GetResponse's sort of custom system, and so you're doing it from kind of your own server. Yeah, that's another question I'm going to have to get the answer to. As of right now, I don't think we tied to Mandrill. I'm pretty sure we don't. But I will take a look at that. That's a good question, because I know a lot of people do it. I've actually set some up for other people, and so it probably is something that we can do. It's just going to be a matter of kind of getting that to the tech team and having them work through it. But I do know that for those of you who asked about the survey, that is something that we're working on, which is to get the embed code for the survey as well as the conditionality, right? Conditional logic. But the registration page is probably going to be embeddable very soon on your WordPress site. Okay, great question. But I'll get the exact answer as to when that's going to happen. Okay, any other questions? Okay, it's about 11:03 Eastern Standard Time, and I've actually not kept you longer than 45 minutes. So, okay, so I think I put on the schedule what I'd like to cover for tomorrow night. I had not planned to do a call tonight. I will probably do another call tomorrow night and cover the things I said I was going to cover. and then my goal is to be wrapped up with this by Monday of next week. Now, I'd actually planned to be wrapped up by Monday of this week. It was kind of impacted by the holidays and me kind of going to Chicago to see my family. So I'm sorry about that. But my goal is to be wrapped up with all of these additional calls to get you ready by next Monday. And to answer your question, so if you can kind of hang in there and be patient, I'll get everything to you in terms of your being able to use the system efficiently and effectively and get started making money. I do want to tell you that I am going to be doing a product creation challenge. It's called Launchpad 2016. And for those of you who just need to get something created and get it out, this is going to be your opportunity to use GMP to create a product and get it up for sale. So what I'm going to say to you is that when I start doing the Launchpad webinars, you want to be there, right? So don't miss them. So I'm probably going to start them after I finish these sets of calls. So I will probably do that starting, I'm going to finish this set of calls next Monday. Next Monday will be the last call. And so probably on Tuesday of next week. Yeah, Jerry, actually the calls right now, they're going to be on GMP, right, in the training area. And Right, yeah, LJ, yeah, all the calls are going to be archived. So you do not, don't feel like you have to be here live, right? So if you have a question, just send it to me. I'll cover it on the call, and they're all on my YouTube channel, right? So you can see them immediately, right? Almost tonight on the YouTube channel, and all the other tutorials that I've done for GMP, in addition to the fact that they will be in the platform itself. So you know, if you feel like it's too late for you and you can't be here live, please do not feel here that you've got to be here live. And this is probably going to just be the best time that I can do a live tutorial, right? Just because of the way the day goes and other things that I've got to do. So this is really just going to be the best time I can kind of fit it in so that I can get these done by next Mondays, because I've got to finish them by next Monday for your sake, right? For the users. So my goal is to do them and to not delay doing them. If I try to do them at a decent hour, I'd be stretching this out into December and January, trying to get them done by 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna just kind of push through it. We'll be ready and done with these by next Monday. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so make sure you can catch any of the replays on youtube.com/gain mindshare. I've got all the tutorials there. And again, just be on the lookout for my emails. Okay, so let's see. Jerry has one question. How do I get a form code on one of the template pages? Okay, great question. Okay, so you can actually do any HTML code. Let's see if I go to create a page here. And what I would do here, Jerry, I'm gonna do a drag and drop page. I'm gonna do a blank drag and drop page. And what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go to a page content box. I'm gonna drag that over. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click inside of that box so that I get the dialog. And then I'm going to click this button, Jerry, see where it says source code? And then if I click that button, that's going to give me the area where I can actually put any code in here that I want. Right? So if you know how to place a little code, a little HTML code, you can place that in here. For those of you who are kind of maybe a little struggling. Oh, am I not sharing my screen? Gee whiz. Okay, now I got to go back and do the whole thing over. How about that? Okay, so let me go back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a page, create a new page, and I'm going to click create new page. Sorry about that, guys. No, thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm going to put in a full, and any content box will do, right? You could do that with any box. I'm going to click inside of that box, and what you're going to see here is you're going to see the source code link. I'm going to click that, and then what's going to happen is you're going to get this area where you can place a little code in there, right? So you are going to need to know how to place a little HTML code in there, right? And so if you place the HTML code in here where you want it, you will be able to have any form in here that you want. Now, if you want to use HTML, the code the universal code everybody needs to know how to use. If you don't know any other HTML, you're probably going to need to know this one thing. If you know how to do this, right? You know just enough to be dangerous. And this is pretty much about all the HTML I know well. So put your HTML code inside of there, and it'll center. Right. I'm actually going to be doing a PLR product on HTML. Right. I've got something upcoming on that, so that's going to be coming out soon. can you import a WordPress series into the GMP system? That's right, Jerry. You can take an Aweber or GetResponse form code and put it in there. That's right. Yep. Okay, great. Yeah. Now Ilja, know the pretty much what you have is an HTML export. And as of right now, we don't import WordPress into GMP. Right? That would be a kind of a complication. It is something that we can take a look at, though. And since I'm kind of the point person on that kind of stuff, I'll take a look at that. Okay, but if you will send me an email and remind me of that, I'll take a look at it. Yeah, there's some features we are going to be adding, so just send me an email and remind me of it, and I'll take a look at it. Okay, everybody. So it's about 11:12. I've got 3 minutes before I get 5 minutes. Are there any other questions? Well, everybody, I certainly appreciate you being here. Yeah, you can use my support email. This support pretty much goes to my daughter. From me, I'll probably see it and answer it. Sometimes if I see it right away, I'll get it. Other times, she's gonna see it, and it might be a day removed from me. Right? It might be a 1 day removed. Sometimes I'll see it the same day, and I can get right back to you. Other times, it's gonna come to her, and it's gonna come to me. Okay, so that's support at gainmindshare.com. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you very much for being here. Have a pleasant tomorrow. Take care. Right on, Jerry. I appreciate that.